to deal with my Pureling. And my pure Baneling there, you can see how that would have been pretty awesome if I had just 4 Banelings right
Yeah,
then.
that would have really opened things up a little bit.
Mhm.
So, wow. Yeah, I kind of suspect J-Mag's watching on the stream. That's why he. That's why he.
Oh.
No, I'm just joking. He wouldn't cheat.
Doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me at all.
But no, that was really impressive. You didn't make a spine crawler at all. Is that normal for you?
If I see it that early and I know what's coming, I think I can defend it usually. If need be, I would have brought some drones from my main, and I would have brought my queen from my main as well. But I wasn't that worried at all. Just because I knew it was coming, I cut drones at a good time, and I figured I could hold. Seeing those zealots probably threw me for a little bit of a loop. I probably should have brought that second queen down and stopped spawning larvae and used it to transfuse a roach. But he let me get in a really good position with my roaches.
Yeah, I saw that. That was kind of nice.
Yeah, if I hadn't gotten that, I would have had to keep microing them, and that's a lot more difficult to do. Keep like microing them back a step. But you need to be able to do that if you do these roaches, and just keep pumping, keep spitting if you're not going to bring that second queen.
How important were your injections there? Like, were they the difference in you holding that, or do you think you would have been okay if you had missed 1 or 2?
Oh, if you miss 1 or 2 early, you just lose. It's
okay.
over.
So if you miss an injection, it's GG.
Just, you know, if you have 50 energy, you're like, oh crap, 50 energy, I missed an injection. Yeah.
All right. So what if Toss doesn't GG right there? What if he backs off and expands?
Oh, you're in the easiest position in the world. Just pressure him with whatever units you have, and don't make a single more unit. Just whatever you killed his army off with, pressure him, like make him think you're coming with a bunch of stuff. And while you're doing that, you're just making drones, taking your third. He can't really move out because he's trying to take an expansion. He's trying to remacro to catch you. Like, it's so obvious what his mindset is there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have 3 bases, and you can do a roach timing or a roach hydra timing. And usually they won't have enough to stop it because they have such a late second, and your economy will be so much higher.
Fantastic. All right. Well, let's do it again. I don't know if he's going to do the same thing. I don't know if he's going to mix it up. So we will see. Just let me get the go-ahead from him.
Okay. Of course, of course.
J-Mag is French, and I have to tease him for it.
I'm French. Just kidding. Just kidding.
I would tease you for it, too.
I'm Canadian.
Well, he's technically French-Canadian, so maybe y'all are more closely related than I realize.
No. I'm not French-Canadian, don't worry. Not that anything's bad with it, I don't speak it.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
Not that there's not anything wrong with that.
Read between the lines pretty well, don't you?
There you go. All right. So maybe you could walk us through exactly how you work out this gas and pool timing in the Sheth build.
Okay. I have 8 drones right now. This is not like, okay, this is so interesting. He has 8 drones. This is just standard, you know. You get your 9 overlord. Yep. It's an egg. See how it's gestating so slowly to become a drone. It is amazing, the hatchery mechanics. It is like just as complicated as the human brain.
Almost.
So, yep. Standard, get my 10th drone.
Now, you are rallying drones to close patches, or is that just because you're being lazy?
I am. I'm doing that. It's specific. You want 2 drones on all your close mineral patches before you get 2 drones on all your far mineral patches. It's just intelligent. You want minerals early. You want them quick so you can do your build order properly, so you can get that expansion, yada yada. So you always want to put your drones on the closest mineral patches first. Like, if you could do it perfectly, I'd put one on the 4 closest, and then 2, you know, I'd even put 2 more on them.
Yeah.
And then I go ahead and get, you might think that gas is a little bit late, but no, that's exactly when I want it. Just a little bit past 120 is generally when I want that to happen. Then I drone up to 15, and then build that overlord.
Awesome. So you go actually 14 gas, 13 pool. That is so fast.
Is it?
Oh, it is in my opinion. When I go speedling expand, I usually go 15 pool, 15 gas, and get a later speed.
Okay. Do you find that every once in a while you get a whole bunch more minerals than you need before you can fit on your hatch, though?
Yes, I do. Especially if it gets blocked.
Yep. So that's why I do this specifically. It's basically trial and error, and I hate those probes. Like, you know, it's so much of a difference when you're playing like a top level player in a huge tournament, and their probe just frustrates the heck out of you. Like I could just see myself like breaking my computer over a probe.
No, I have to ask you this. You're not sending a drone down to sort of bait a pylon, which is something I see a lot of top players do. Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, I don't care if he pylons me in. I'm just gonna go roaches and take my third with a Nidus if I have to. I think if he cannons me in with those three things, I can deal with it just fine. I'm not at all worried.
Okay.
Oh, do you mean if I want to bait a pylon just at the natural?
More specifically, I meant trying to force him to make that 100 mineral investment.
Gotcha. No, a lot of times they'll do it without me baiting them, and I don't need to bait them. Doesn't bother me if they don't do it.
You don't care either way.
Nope, doesn't bother me.
Sweet. So are you still going to go crash that first zealot?
Yep.
Is that something you do every single game?
Nope.
No.
But it's generic. Like I like to get 6. It's a throwback to the days when people would 2-gate, and you want to be somewhat safe from it. So if I do this, I'm fairly safe, even if I see a 2-gate.
I got 2-gated about a week ago. I couldn't believe it.
However, here I cannot do anything.
Yep.
This is the base where I can only hit one at a time, and it's no point to it. But I can poke and see what his first unit is, which is a stalker.
All right. Is there any tell there?
Yep. Just that it's probably not going to be a 3-gate sentry expand. That's all.
Okay.
Not a huge tell by any means.
Second queen, nice and fast. Your expansion's going down, and this time you have certainly droned much more than previously.
Really?
Oh yeah. You are already at, well, I guess technically right now you're just at the same point that you were last time.
Gotcha. Well, last game I saw what was going on.
Yes.
So this game I'm not sure.
And this begs the question of when is that Overlord going to come poke, or is that Overlord going to come poke at all?
Oh, it needs to come poke right away. Like it needs to be going right now. If he has, say, a pylon somewhere right here, I'll just lose. There's very little I can do. But I'm assuming that he didn't manage to get a pylon off. And I can be, since I know it's a 4-gate, I could be more defensive if I wanted to.
But we're not going to cheat.
Yeah, basically that's it. Exactly. I don't plan on cheating at this point.
At this point, maybe if you lose.
Well, you know what I mean. You know what I mean.
I jest, sir.
At this point, it's just making sure he doesn't leave his base, poking up every once in a while to see what unit composition he has. I see the gates. I see, I kind of sense something is maybe off, because normally they move out right around now. This is their timing. And notice here I have too many drones, though.
Yeah, you have 31.
Yeah. It's possibly going to cost me, because I need to know what he's doing. Okay, Blink Stalker.
All right.
Instantly know what's going on. This is pretty hard to deal with a lot of times. I usually like to use a huge amount of lings. It's kind of weird.
And what's the? Are you hauling ass to Hydra? Because that's kind of what I do.
Yep, that's kind of the plan. Ling to Hydra, with a few spine crawlers. Here I see him up here.
You're just going right after. Oh yeah, and you got enough. Absolutely.
Might as well. I don't think that'll be too much of a problem here.
You feel like he pushed too soon because he just lost all his stalkers.
Yeah, I mean, now it's over.
That sucks to be J-Mag. So we're droning now.
Good game.
What a noob.
Then you drone, obviously, and
yep.
you have such a huge advantage.
Okay, so that wasn't the best executed Blink Stalker I've ever seen in my life.
Wasn't it? No, it was a little bit off. That was okay. It helps that I know it's a cheese.
Yeah.
It helps that I have a good feeling that I'm going to get pressured. But I did have 31 drones, which is a bit hard to hold a 4-gate with. If you had a proxy pound like in my base, I would just have lost.
Right.
I couldn't have handled it. And that's why scouting is amazingly important. And if you know your opponent, like, let me explain this a little bit better.
All right.
If I'm playing Kapak or Kapoch or however you say his name, I'm going to scout every inch of the entire freaking map 5 times. His only win style against me is if he 4-gates me or does some sort of crazy gayness. So I will always scout everywhere against him. So if someone has previously done something gay to me, I'll be a little bit more tentative against it. In tournaments, I'm very afraid of things tentatively, so I'll always scout in tournaments. It's hard to do, though, because you can't poke in with your 4-lings then. Like, you don't get that opportunity to kill the Zealot. You just scout with those 4-lings everywhere.
Awesome. All right. I just told J-Mag that he can open it up and do any style that he wants for this next game, so I can kind of pick your brain throughout a full-length game, and after this one I'll jump up and play a couple and let you yell
Okay.
at me for being a noob.
I will. I will ask you annoying questions until you're like, stop it, Sheth!
Now, he's still May 4 gate.
Indeed. Indeed. I will be wary of it. Have no fear. Although I can tell you right now, I feel like he's going to go, I don't know. I'm just going to guess something with Void Rays, though.
Void Rays.
Has a Void Ray feel
Off of
already.
1 base?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I just said it has a Void Ray feel
There will
already.
be 1 Void Ray eventually.
Before his second Nexus is fully complete, I expect a Void Ray to have been completed.
Okay. Now that's getting a little bit more specific. You might be it's a slippery slope, Sheth. I think you were better off when you said there will be 1 Void Ray period at some point in the game.
Well, do you know how they have like IQ tests apparently where they show you like 4 shapes, and they say you have to figure out what the 5th shape is based on these 4 shapes.
And the 5th shape will be a Void Ray.
Indeed. Indeed.
Okay.
I'm doing a slightly different timing this game. So it never hurts to switch things up very slightly. I'm just doing a Korean opening, basically.
A Korean opening. What does that mean?
Means I forgot to make my Overlord at 10 or at 9, so I have to do a 10 Overlord and then an 11 Extractor trick to remain equal or slightly behind.
I see. And that's the Korean trick, to be behind?
They think it puts you ahead. I'm not a huge fan of it, basically.
I see.
I've tested them both myself personally, and I feel that the other one's
I feel
slightly
like you're trolling me.
No, that's true. I mean, what do you use? Do you use that?
No,
like
I go
Korean?
9 Overlord.
Yeah. But if you watch, like, Nesty does that opening that I'm doing right here, and a lot of top Korean players in the GSL opened like this.
Huh. I never paid that close of attention to it. I know that Fruit Dealer would go Extractor Trick in every one of his games in Season 1, but that's about as much as I can remember.
Gotcha. I think one of the Zergs playing Hydra did it, and I think Sazane maybe did it a couple times. Maybe did it versus Rhett. I'm not completely sure.
Right.
I could be completely lying on that part, but...
Well, if you are, then we won't call any attention to it.
Okay, good. So this early Probe Scout, I know exactly what base he's in.
Yep, absolutely. And does that hurt your feelings at all?
Nope, close positions. You gotta be extra careful. Might want to throw in a Spine Crawler if you're worried at all. And the fact that I've gotten 4-gated twice, or I've gotten some sort of cheese, I'd be on my guard at this point. I'd be like,
Right. And that one drone's gonna... Okay, cool. I didn't know if you were gonna keep him on gas or not. And you are not.
He's just lazy.
Lazy drone. I would call him extra hardworking, because he brought 4 more gas than you needed.
True. Alright, notice how his probe isn't around here anymore?
Mm-hmm.
That's like, oh my god, I have to find this probe. That bothers me. I will find you, probe. I will find you. That is like my favorite thing to do in these games, is find the probe. It's like a game for me.
Find the probe.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't think he's up there.
He's not. So, I feel like this means he probably just brought it back into his base.
You're not going to check the gold?
Well, that one is, but just on the way to this
Gotcha.
area.
Okay.
Alright, I see a sentry. And a chrono boost on the,
Side core.
Yeah, there you go. Why is it so hard to think of things when you're playing?
It's tough, man.
So at this point, I'm feeling just something very similar to a 3-gate expansion.
Yep. From where I sit, which is a very informed position, this looks pretty standard to me.
Indeed. But you still have to pay attention to it as a Zerg. You still can't just assume anything.
And that train is loud. You hear that?
Yep. It's a pretty train.
I thought it'd be cool to live next to the train, because when I was a kid I used to really like trains. Turns out it just sucks.
Yep.
So I see you're making 2 Overlords. Is this because you screwed up?
No, this is actually pretty close timing. I only have 2 drone larvae waiting, and this one finishes.
Okay.
So I'm not that far off from my normal.